guys, it's me, Bluffamuchuck here, and a glowstone. Now, that's good because I used up a bunch of it to make this stuff over here. But now we just need some diamonds. Oh wait, here's 2. Oh no, let's leave it in there. Let's use the 9 that's in here. Yeah, like literally, I logged on. I didn't even wait at all. Like it's literally been probably a minute, and that's 2, 3, I think 4 diamonds because I used one of them to make glowstone. So like 4 diamonds in a minute. That's a lot. Look at that. And we got all that mushroom stew that's generating for free. I feel bad for that mushroom, but I think it's time that we make a condenser. Not a condenser. No. A collector. So this requires 6. Oh, I thought it was 8. A furnace and a glass and a block of diamond. Now, don't think I forgot about you. We gotta put it in there. In fact, you know what I'm thinking of doing? Look at that. That's actually going to be done fairly quick. Alright, so while we're waiting for that, I think it's time to harvest some more of this stuff. And we'll always have an extra piece, just in case it starts pouring everywhere. And this is going pretty well. Our productivity has increased significantly, people. The fact that we probably have a diamond block sitting in that machine over there already is mind-blowing. Oh, now is the time that I'd like to mention 2 Kickstarter slash Indiegogo. One of them is Indiegogo, the other is Kickstarter. There's 2 Kickstarter slash Indiegogo projects that I want to bring to your guys' notice. One of them is a personal one, and then the other one is one that I can't live to see not happen. I'll start with the not so serious one. And it is the Kickstarter campaign for the video game Armacrog. Now, you may be thinking, what Armacrog? What is that? Well, Armacrog actually is a game that is based off of a claymation animated game from quite a long time ago. Like a really long time ago. I've never played it, but I've seen videos of it, and it looks pretty cool. Alright, I guess that's all of that. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. And, they're making a game very similar to it. Basically, it's a point-and-click adventure puzzle game that has rather than animated, like, you know, animation, digital animation, it's clay animation, which is really awesome because I don't think I've ever seen a video game that's used clay animation. Oh, almost there. Just a few more seconds here. There we go. Ha. Perfect. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a video game that is clay animation before. And holla Jula, look at that collector. Now, Not even joking you right now. But if we put this right here, that is going to collect one EMC really quickly. Actually, a bunch of EMC fairly quickly. And it's going to feed it directly into here. So this is creating even more EMC for our thing. And at this rate, we will be getting the Mark II version of the collector fairly soon. It just requires a Mark 1, some of that, and some Aeternalis fuel, which honestly won't be too hard to get. It's just a bunch of coal. So yeah, so we need another diamond block, and then we'll start working on the coal part. But for now, we have a bunch of ash. But yeah, Armacrog. I really want that game to come out. So if you have the money to fund it, I helped fund it. I put in, I think, $20 towards it. But yeah, that would be really cool and helpful towards the campaign. That is, not towards me. I don't care. So we've got slight sugarcane production. Our only problem is all of our sugarcane wants to go into here. Now, since we did fill this up with mushroom stew, we can put a restriction tube here before that sugarcane gets in there, and it will prefer putting the sugarcane in the this chest because it has room for a sugarcane. So that is solved, and we have still got our massive EMC production. I just got an email. But yep, that's enough about that Kickstarter. The next is an Indiegogo campaign. I'm not sure if it's up right now. It was supposed to go up yesterday, but it didn't end up going up because they had some definite technical difficulties. Now, this campaign is not started by me. It is actually started by my science teacher. Now, let me give you a little bit of background on this science teacher. She's done everything you can think of, like as a job, anything you can think of. Like, not as just jobs, but in general. Like, I don't even know. But, one of her things was actually she was a biologist, and she was studying some cancer research. And they had a lot of funding, and they came up with a interesting cure. I wouldn't say cure, but I wouldn't not say cure, because it pretty much was a cure. It didn't prevent cancer from happening. It stopped cancer from staying. So, like, it got rid of your cancer. It only worked with tumors because it was let me explain how it worked. It's actually not that complicated, so don't worry about it. But if you know about cancer, you know that there's this thing called chemotherapy, and it's basically they put a bunch of really powerful drugs to try to kill the cancer out of you, basically. And it's really destructive to your body and not good, not bad either necessarily. But in general, you kind of don't want to be putting that in your body. So, what they decided to do is they decided that they were going to take small dosages of that chemo drug, and they were going to inject or like infuse some magnetic iron particles into the chemo drugs, and basically they would hold a like really powerful magnet above the patient while they have the drug in them, uh, because it's inserted through like a tube, and then uh, they monitor it, and eventually they just close up the thing and let it just absorb into your tumor, and you know, um, but well, surprisingly, actually, it ended up working. They put the magnet over the patient with the drug, and they held it there for about 30 minutes, as I believe what I believe she told me, um, and they held it there with the drug and the iron injection stuff, and it after 30 minutes the tumor was shredded up to pieces, and they were able to remove it. It was like kind of like a soft tissue, and they were able to remove it really easily, and goodbye tumor, and goodbye cancer. And it worked. They were able to do that successfully. That wasn't a theory. That actually worked. They cured. They. I don't like using the word cure because it wasn't a straight up cure. It was more of a. I don't know what word I should use. But. It worked, and they needed to test it more, because if it works, they get a bunch of funding, and they need to test it to make sure that they can actually start doing this to a bunch of people. And in between testing, they said, all right, the drugs were held in place without us having to hold the magnet there. The drugs were in place, and they were staying in place by this specific time, so we don't need to hold the magnet there anymore at that point. And we need to change the iron filings so that you can store them a lot longer. Then that's when they began the mass trial. Sweet dog. That's when they began the mass trials on a bunch of people with this new their improved formula, and that's charcoal. And surprisingly, when they tried this mass trial with this new idea, it failed. They the new combination of stuffs. I don't. It's the best I can describe that. Alright, I guess I don't have actual coal, which I do need actual coal, so I believe this is how I get coal. Just by putting it in here. Yeah, here's coal. Let's learn it. So it stopped working in this mass trial, and they didn't have enough funding to revisit it. So what they ended up having to do is give up. Now, they just had to give up. They didn't have enough funding to continue. They didn't need to continue because they didn't know what the problem was in the first place. They didn't know how to fix it. So they stopped, and they couldn't continue. And they hadn't known what went wrong for the longest time, until one day in science class. We were actually our class was designing cars in physics, to like be safe and stuff like that. And I had basically designed my car, so I didn't need to really do much anymore. So I worked with. I was just sitting talking with my science teacher. Her name's Lisa, and she she was setting up a curriculum for electricity and physics, because part of physics is electricity. And when she was setting it up, I was playing with iron filings, and with magnets and iron filings. If you put the magnets next to iron filings, it kind of attracts them, and it's cool looking. And she had a sudden realization. She's like, wait, what if the reason it's not working wasn't because we like ruined the drugs or anything by changing the iron? What if it's because the drugs actually weren't the reason why it was working in the first place? And she decided that the reason that it was working in the first place is, if you recall, I said after the treatment, after they held the magnet there, they were able to remove the like shredded pieces of the tumor, right? She realized that maybe the reason why it was working in the first place was that the iron filings were shredding up the tumor rather than the drug actually breaking it down. And her theory was that holding the magnet there and having a patient breathing, like you putting a magnet closer and pulling it away from iron filings. What if that is what caused the we need one more. What if that breathing motion is what caused the iron to stab through the tumor? So she has this whole new renewed sense of hope, thinking that this is the reason why she needs to just focus rather than on the chemo drugs. She needs to focus on the iron filings. And I think it's a very viable theory, definitely viable. And this is why I'm telling you about an Indiegogo project. It is run by the same physics teacher that I was just talking to you about, and it is to get her funding for her cancer research on the cancer on what I was just telling you about. She thinks that that's the way she thinks that's the reason why it wasn't working, and she's gonna try to get this out and spread the word that, hey, you have a tumor, this is how you can fix it. And I think it's really cool because if you think about her realization, I don't take credit for her realization, but if I hadn't played with those magnets, she probably wouldn't have figured it out. So I think it's really close to my heart that this gets funded. So that's why I'm bringing it to your attention. I am actually in the Kickstarter video, if you go and watch the Kickstarter video. But I'm in it, and yeah. So if oh, was that the diamond block that yeah, I needed that one. Yeah, so that's why I if it comes if the jeez, if the Kickstarter campaign if it comes out, I'll put a link in the description. But it's just, it amazes me. It really does. That everything amazes me about that. That's just brilliant. I need glowstone. I can think of only one way to get glowstone right now. Like that. I don't want to make a relay right now because while I was rambling on, I made this dark matter, if you didn't notice. So yeah, so I think we're gonna end this episode off pretty soon here. Next episode we'll make another better collector and we'll make a relay. And then with that technology, we might expand the cow mushroom stew thing out a little bit more. And then we'll be one step closer to having a Collector Mark III. And if we have it, we'll put it in here. It will come back into this chest, and we can use it to make the chassis Mark V. So anyway, I would really appreciate if you funded both of those Kickstarters. They're both really awesome. One of them more than the other, I'm sure you can tell. But yeah, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys all next time. Oh, by the way, we'll also probably start making biofuel soon too. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys all next time. Goodbye.